Welcome back, everybody, to GDQ Hotfix's AAPI Heritage Month Celebration Marathon. So excited to bring you a run of Time Crisis 2 Story Mode Normal Ammo by Krakenarises. We're being joined here by Feckless Tourmaline, who will be just doing the handling the commentary as Kraken won't be talking. So I think I'll just go ahead and pass it off to you, Feckless, to take it away.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is Feckless Tourmaline, and I'm joined by a runner, Krakenarises, and they're going to be running Time Crisis 2 on the PS2. It's not too common that light gun games are showcased at these sort of events, the speedrunning events, so we're happy to share this unique game genre with y'all. Hotfix celebrating AAPI Heritage Month, fitting into that fold. Kraken and I are both Filipino.
Yeah,
they're all the way. They were all the way over in the Philippines, and I'm commentating from across the world in Washington. So we're going to be running the game on the PCSX2 emulator. They're going to be rolling around with a mouse instead of a light gun. Traditionally, you play the game on the PS2 with a light gun. To go along with that, we have the no flash patch to get rid of all the screen flashing, because like from NES all throughout time, light guns they have to put that big white flash on the screen to know where the bullet is. But we got the emulator here, a couple of flash click right here, and you can see that we got no flash on. We use the in-game timer instead of real time due to the slight load time variations, like if it's a fat PS2, slim PS2, or in this case an emulator. And in addition, we got about 2 minutes of cutscenes and mid-game load screens that we can't skip. So time is going to end on the final shot on the final boss. Before we get started, a couple things I want to go over. There's two types of enemy spawns, standardized and RNG. So just as it says on the tin, standardized, every single time the spawn order is going to be the same for any given action point. And then the RNG, there's a little bit of variation. Like, for example, in the first area, you might have 3 blue enemies in one instance, but then in another one, you might have like 2 rocket enemies and a guy that throws a grenade from a different part. So Kraken's just got to stay on his toes. In the top right corner, you're going to see that we're playing on very hard. This does not affect the amount of damage that you do to enemies or bosses. Standard enemies take 1 shot, up to 3 shots no matter what, and bosses always take the same amount of hits. This affects the amount of crisis shots, which are the shots that do damage to you as a player. Typically, you only want to look out for the red enemies or occasionally like rocket enemies. Those are the most likely to have shots that will do a red flash and are guaranteed to hit you. But if you play on very hard, you're more likely to see any random enemy that might hit you. Final thing, Time Crisis 2 was the first co-op game in the series. Every single other main game in the series has been co-op, but in this version, player 1 and player 2 have a certain path that they go to, but when you're playing solo, you're going to occasionally see orange enemies that come up. If you shoot the left one, you take the left path. If you shoot the right one, you take the right path. And Kraken knows the fastest path that you want to take, and I'll try and point them out as they play. So I think with that should be everything, and we should be good to go. It's going to be a lot of information really fast, so I'll count it down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And here we go.
Good luck.
Yes, good luck, Kraken.
Action.
All right, starting out in the hotel room. This is standard enemy placement right here. First junction enemies. The first one was behind the bar. The second one was behind the table. So the first orange enemy that you shoot, it determines the path you take. So you jump down here. You get these enemies right here. Then you're going to be turning after this car to face the restaurant. You want to shoot these 2 blue enemies before they duck behind the table, and then shoot the enemies in the background there. And then after that, we got the tanker. You shoot it 3 times, skip that entire section. This is that example RNG that I gave at the beginning, the 2 rocket enemies. And then if you saw it, it was really fast in the gazebo. There were 2 orange enemies. You want the left one, because instead you get 4 enemies instead of like 15. So it saves a ton of time. Moving on to the truck, this is the end of the area 1-1. If you shoot the enemies in a certain order, including the enemies that you see ducking behind the bushes, you might not even be able to see them. You can save about a second. And that is area 1-1. All right, moving on to 1-2. There's 3 stages and there's 3 areas in each one. So we got pretty crucial area right here. There's going to be a few instances where the boss, whose name is Yakov, he jumps out and you have to shoot the hat off his head. If you shoot the hat off his head all 4 times, you go to a bonus area at the end of the stage instead of facing off against a tank, and this saves about 10 seconds. So all of the enemy placement in these narrow corridors are standardized, so Kraken is making quick work of these. Here's the second hat. Turn around, get all these enemies right here in this narrow corridor. And then following these barrel enemies, there's going to be 2 enemies that rappel down and then 4 enemies right in a row that you have to shoot. Those 2 knife enemies and the third hat. All these are standard, and then we go to the final area, which is the arch. 3 quick shots right here, and then the 4th hat. Boom. So we got the bonus area coming up. So right here, instead of us getting run over by a tank, our partner is going to get run over by the tank. He's totally fine. Totally fine. So we're going to turn left here. Instead of facing off against that tank, we got 9 quick enemies. And that is the end of Area 2. All right. 1-3. This is the boat section. And right here, if you aim right in the middle of those 2 turrets, you can actually defeat both of those with a single clip of 9. As chaotic as this looks with these enemies moving around in the boats, all this enemy movement is standard. All the enemy placement, everything totally standard. So you just gotta deal with the slight randomness of the boat. And after these knife enemies, believe it or not, you don't even have to do anything for about 23 seconds. Believe it or not. So if we were doing a real GDQ, or sorry, not a real a big GDQ with donations and stuff, I would ask to read a donation here, because you don't even need to do anything for 23 seconds. So basically, you just wait until the timer says 18, excuse me, and you just jump out, shoot those enemies, shoot the boss once on the left, shoot the boss once on the right, and then 3 times in the middle. And that is stage 1. GG. Yeah, GG's on stage 1. All right, moving on to stage 2. We're in the forest now. So Kraken's got his cursor right in the middle to get an enemy way in the background that helps speed up the spawns of these orange enemies right here. So you want the left orange enemy to get the slightly faster path here walking. It's an auto-scroller section, not unlike the barrel section in the beginning. So as long as you hit all the enemies, you don't have to worry too much about accuracy until you get to the end here. So you shoot all these enemies real quick, and in the corner we see the timer go to 39.1, so that's the fastest that you can finish that section. Machine gun. All right, so now they got the machine gun. You could just hold the trigger down, but it's actually faster to just spam the trigger. So you shoot the tank up, and then shoot the turret on top of the tank to do a little bit more damage. And if you don't shoot those blue enemies, you're guaranteed to get the fastest cycle, or the good path here. Kraken knows the order to shoot the enemies to make an enemy spawn a little bit earlier. Normally you'd have to wait for your partner to move into place, and then after that you got to shoot the right barrel here to get the correct path. That's the equivalent of the orange enemies earlier in the game. Game doesn't tell you this. And in fact, it's less obvious in the arcade mode the arcade version, because the barrels are black. Now moving on to 2-2. This is the longest area in the game. It's about 2 minutes long, so it's about a fifth of the entire run here. Kraken actually discovered that if you take the right path going into the stage by shooting that right barrel, it's a little bit longer on this stage overall, but it actually saves time a little bit later in the boss. Saves about 5 seconds. So right here, you're gonna see your character move over to the right, and you're gonna be able to see all the enemies running from the right. And that's how you can get all these guys before your partner would even see them. Also, you don't shoot the bonus enemies here. Normally, we used to think that shooting the bonus enemies, because there's less enemies to deal with, would save time. But you start the boss section, and the boss is facing you, so you have to hide for a little bit more time, and so it wastes a few seconds. But yeah. Standardized enemies right here. Just shoot them all as they're poking out of these train doors and behind the gas containers, and then you're going to jump across. And this is the turret section. There's going to be a couple of guys popping out real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you shoot the turret at least 9 times, and then after that, a couple enemies come out, and you just shoot those guys 1 time each, and the turret just explodes. You don't even need to shoot it. After that, we got 8 seconds to nothing. All those guys are extra credit. So then once you turn over here, just defeat these few enemies, and that is 2-2. 146 is a great time, honestly.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, so then you start the boss section, and the boss is facing your partner. So you just spam. You have to hit him 30 times. You can't shoot him when he's staggered. So you shoot him, you stagger him, and then once you get up to 30, you move on in the cycle. So right here, once he starts swinging the missile, you shoot him 16 times to stun him, 16 times to stun him again, and then on the final one, it's 17 for some reason. After that, he's just going to be popping out from the top of the screen. You're just spamming bullets into him until the stage is done. Only 1 red shot. That's crazy. Usually it's like 3 or 4.
Really?
Yeah, by the way, they never at one time say the name of this boss at any point in the game. His name is Buff Bryant.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you have to look in the instruction manual to find this. They don't say this at all in the arcade version. In
Instruction
any
manual
time
giving
during
the lore is pretty popular back then, I guess.
Oh yeah, this game came out in 2001. All right, final stage. We're on the floating base here. You want to shoot that right enemy before he ducks behind the containers. And then right here, pretty big RNG section, but you want to focus the guys that are rappelling down. And then after this section, that was super fast. All this enemy placement throughout these containers, all standardized. So just got to get them as they pop out. Then this guy right before he hides. There's so much downtime here, like because it's so standard, I would ask to read another donation, but nothing really much to say here. And then right here, final enemy. And then we get our first sight of Wild Dog. Shoot him, get those rock guys up top, and then the left junction enemy to get the left path here. Up top, after you shoot these bottom enemies, you might see the knife enemies try to jump down from the top. You can just get them to save a little bit of time. And then once you move to this next section, you shoot Wild Dog 6 times to stun him, 6 times to stun him. You do this 4 times. And the enemies are yellow here because Kraken shot Wild Dog enough times before he ran away. That is 3-1. All right. 3-2, we got the shortest area in the game here. This is a boss section. All of this movement is standardized. So you just got to know where the bosses pop out, where these enemies pop out. And if you're fast enough, you can see Wild Dog jump down to your partner. So he jumps down to you right here, and then you wait for him to go right there. You can shoot him 3 times on the top of these canisters, 1, 2, and 3. And then when the helicopters come out, you aim for a headshot on where the pilot is sitting on the right side of the helicopter to get the fastest kill. After this, 3 more shots on Wild Dog, and that is 3-2. That should be about 39 seconds. Yep, 39.78.
VSSE.
Okay, final area in the game. This is 3-3. This, I think, is where Kraken found the most tech, because all this enemy placement is standardized. Fortunately, if you do shoot Christie there, you lose a few seconds, but you know, it happens. Okay, so you can shoot him right before he ducks right there, but now you can see that Kraken is aiming between those 2 objects right there. You can actually shoot the boss in the foot before he even pops out right there to skip that entire section. I had no idea that you could do that. And this is the final section of the game, the fake satellite. So you're just unloading bullets into the satellite, just spamming all day, and then when you see the boss pop out from the side up there, you just shoot him.
Simple.
Not really much to say here. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's a lot of shooting. You can see up there the bullet counters all the way up at 99. Kraken's using 2 fingers on the mouse.
There's a lot of bullets. This is pretty classic arcade boss shenanigans, I guess.
Yep. And yeah, you're just unloading. Do we got run rotation? Yep. We're actually coming up on time here. Right. So yeah, really fast. You just shooting, and wow, actually defeated the missiles before you could even shoot them. I was gonna say something that you could actually sneak in 1 shot between those. 1 more shot, and that's time.
GG.
GG's.
That went by so fast. Oh my gosh.
Oh, how do you think I feel? I was just like nonstop talking that entire time.
Amazing.
It is so much information to try and talk about and to absorb, but still an 11:08. Believe it or not, that is beating the current TAS. Current TAS is 11:15.
What?
No, they've been in communication with the TASer, and I believe they were still working on a new test. They could probably get like a 10:30 or something like that. But Kraken's PB right now is a 10:51.
Okay.
It's insane. I actually didn't even think it was possible to beat the game in only 11 minutes before.
Dang. Yeah,
but yeah.
Kraken clearly dominating their own leaderboards right there. Very nice.
Oh, absolutely. They had so much practice. But yeah, that was Time Crisis 2. This was both Kraken and I's first GDQ. We're honored to be part of this event and the community. So, like I said, that was a ton of information to try and cover and absorb, but hopefully it was entertaining, and I hope that y'all can start playing this game too. You saw how short it could be. It's so fast. Just 11, 12 minutes. Just we only have like 3 active runners right now, so come on, join us.
Yeah, get some revenge on the game that probably ate your quarters back in the day. So
oh yeah,
I never got very far in any of the Time Crisis. I played it all the time, but yeah, seriously impressive run. I think everyone in chat was stunned by the level of clicking and mouse accuracy going on. So yeah, definitely go follow Kraken if you haven't already. Fekus, do you have any other shout outs you want to do?
No, I don't have any other shout outs. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope the rest of the marathon goes well.
Thank you. We have one more run for today, but don't worry, we will have a whole nother day tomorrow, starting again at 1 p.m. Eastern. But before we even get there, we have another run by the one and only Limey doing Quake 64 Remaster. That'll be coming up in just a little bit after this break, so stay tuned.